Hey guys, how do you make big problems solvable for your clients? I'm Chris Cooper. This is the Business is Good podcast. And today I'm going to show you how to break big problems down into solvable problems. The main reason that your clients can't get results, no matter what kind of coaching you're doing, if it's business coaching, fitness coaching, or even like spiritual coaching, is because when you say, okay, you must do this, they're lacking something that's going to make it possible to get that thing done. So it could be time. It could be mental capacity. They're like overwhelmed. They can't focus. It could be lack of clarity. They're not sure exactly what they need to do. It could be something else. Like they're just scared. Like, where do I start? How do I do this? It's too big. I don't have time right this second. And so what I'm going to do is show you a trick that top coaches in every field use called breaking down the problem. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So if we're thinking about any problem that a client is trying to solve, the way that we make it possible for the client to get the goal done, but also to get it done faster, is to break it down into the smallest possible steps. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this with examples. We're going to start with a goal that a client might have. Okay. So let's say that the goal that the client has is to make an extra $10,000 per month. Okay. Now, if you just said to the client, all right, our goal is to make an extra $10,000 per month, and they said, okay, how are we going to do that? And you're going to say, well, all you got to do is get 20 more clients paying $500 each. They're going to say, okay, sounds good. And technically, right, you've ticked that box. I've told them the goal. I've told them what to do. But how do I get 20 more clients? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to break this down into the minimum effective task. That's called our MET, okay? Minimal effective task. First thing we're going to do is break the goal down into halfway. Now, it's easier for your brain to divide things in half than it is to divide them into tenths. So if I looked at this line and said, okay, where is 1/10? I don't know, maybe here, it might be here, I'm not sure. It's actually easier to just divide the goal in half. So that's what we're going to do with a visual line when we're talking to our client. So if our goal is $10,000, how will we know when we're halfway? Well, that's easy math. That's $5,000, right? So if we want them to make an additional $5,000, there we are. There's halfway. Now that $5,000 goal still seems probably pretty big, but it's getting smaller. And so now if you can say, well, we need to get 10 clients, the client might think like, okay, this is doable, but I'm still not sure how to do it. So what do we do next? We find halfway to halfway. Well, we know that's $2,500, or in our example, that's the equivalent of like 5 new clients paying $500 a month. Okay. How do I get these 5 new clients? Let's break it down even one more step here, right? So let's go all the way down to 2 clients. Can we get 2 more clients paying $500 each? Yes, we know how to do that, right? If I'm talking to a gym owner, I would say we're going to set up an on-ramp program. Okay, so we need to build an on-ramp. We're going to price it at $500. We are going to sell it to, the next 5 people. And 2 of them are going to buy it. And that's how we're going to get to this one. And then we will say check, and then we will move on to the next one. So the next goal might be like, now let's get to 5. And then from there, it might be, let's get to 10 and then 15 and then bam, 20, we've done it. The key though is to break this down into the minimal effective task. It's critical, and a good mentor will know this, that the person has to be doing like actual work that will take them closer to the goal. Now, what that means is you might have to actually break down the tasks. So here are my tasks, 1, 2, 3. I might have to break those down a little bit more too. Okay. So we might have to build an on-ramp program. That's going to be step 1. All right. Well, how do we do that? We can go right back to our chart again. So if our next goal is we need to build an on-ramp program worth $500 for this gym, goal, on-ramp. $500. Okay. How will we know when we're like halfway to a good on-ramp? What's the halfway point? Well, we write programming. So in this case, the gym would say like, here are the things that I need the client to know. Okay. Well, how do we write the programming? Let's break that down even further. Okay. So like, what are the movements you want your client to be familiar with before they get into a group class? That's the point of your on-ramp. Okay. That's good. Well, how do I identify those movements? Well, let's back it up another small step. What are the most common movements in your group classes? And what are the most basic version of those movements? Squat, deadlift, press, pull. Great. That's the start of your foundation. If you write down, the basic version of the most common movements, and then you write down the basic movement for all your common movements, and then you give like a progression, okay, and you write them all down and you write the programming for it. Now you've just got to decide how you're going to deliver it. How will I deliver it? I'm going to deliver it one-on-one. Great. All we have to do now is decide the price. We already know that's going to be $500. Boom, mission accomplished. This minimal effective task is really helpful for getting people to speed of execution and speed to outcome. Like ultimately, we've identified here, there are a bunch of steps to making this gym an extra $10,000, but we've broken the steps down into the minimal effective task. Minimal meaning they can complete it in half an hour. So a rule that we give to all of our clients is every day, spend 30 minutes doing something that will grow your business before you do anything else. So that minimal effective task has to fit inside that 30-minute window. So I can just do a quick audit here. Can I come up with the most basic version of the movements in my group class in 30 minutes or less? Yeah, absolutely I can. Can I make a list of all the common movements and their progressions? That might take me an hour. Okay, so that's going to take me Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so now I can actually, as the coach, I can start breaking this out. Like I'm going to do this Monday. I'm going to do this Tuesday. I'm probably going to be able to group those movements together on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'm going to write the programming. On Thursday, I'm going to decide, one-on-one, and I'm going to set up schedules with my team. I already know the price. So by Friday, I should be selling. Okay, and then the next week, what are we doing? Well, we've got our on-ramp program down. We've got our price down. We have to sell it to 5 people. So next week, we can break this down again. How do we get 5 people to buy this? Okay, well, here we go through the process again. I'm going to do another example here, and I'll use a completely different metric. Okay, so here's another example. Okay, we've got a dental firm. This just came up with another business coach last week, actually. We had a dental firm. They're just starting out. They need to get some clients. So they set an initial goal of like, we're going to get 10 first-time clients. Easy to break that goal down, right? 5 clients. And then we could say 4, 3, 2, 1. Now what we're going to say is, what do we actually need to do to get 1 client? Well, we need to talk to my friends and family in town. I moved to a town where there's a lot of my friends and family. So the first thing that I need to do here, my minimal effective task, is email friends and family, because I only need 1 new client, and an email to my friends and family should get me 1 new client. Okay, check. And that's going to be my Monday minimal effective task. On Tuesday, how am I going to get another client? Well, I'm going to leverage social media. So social media is my next plan. Okay, and we're going to try and get to 5. Third, my next plan might be to do like online ads. Okay, so paid ads through social media. So now we've got these steps. How do we break these steps down even further? Well, friends and family, that's probably a 1-step process. It's like an email. Okay, well, how do we send people an email? Let's break that down. We want to start an email list. Okay, so now our goal is email list. We need to have the email list set up. That's going to be part 1. And we need to know what to tell people. We also need to know who is on that list. So our first task is make a list, just in a Word document or whatever, of like every name and email address locally. The next thing that you're going to do, so there's your Monday task. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to set up an email server client, right? So like maybe that's MailChimp or something like that. We use ActiveCampaign. Okay, this is just basically a container. You're going to set that up. You're going to sign up. Check. That's your Tuesday task. Get set up on MailChimp. Wednesday, what to say? Well, your mentor can probably give you the text for that, or you can just practice writing a love letter, or you can take 30 minutes and like draft something. Okay, and you're going to hit send. By the end of Wednesday, we've got an email list, and hey, we've probably got we got an email going out. We might want to do one more thing in here actually, and that is set up booking software, okay, so that you can have like, click here to book with me. Come in for a free consultation, click here, something like that, right? So now what that does is it just backs up our tasks a little bit. But so here's our Tuesday task, here's our Wednesday task, here's our Thursday task. By Friday, we've started marketing, right? And hopefully maybe we even got some bookings from some friends and family. Here's the key to all of this. The smaller you make these tasks, like the better and clearer you identify these minimal effective tasks, the more likely they are to get done. If you just said to somebody, okay, well, first we're going to try and get our first client by setting up an email list and sending out an email blast. Okay, great. Got it. Yep, check. Sounds good. I'll do that. They leave the call. They don't really know what to do. Like, should I use Gmail? Do I have to go register a new Gmail account? Like, what should it be? Should it be the name of my dental office? That doesn't look really pro. Do I need to go get a website first? I don't know. You know what? I'll come back to this tomorrow. And they keep procrastinating because the task is too big. When you say step one is just take out a Word document and write down the name and email address of everybody you know in town, they can do that in 30 minutes. And now they're a winning client, right? They're checking things off the list. They're getting some at-bats. They're winning and they're getting some momentum. Then the next thing is all you have to do today is find a booking software. Here are 3 that I like: ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Constant Contact, whatever. Great. I'll check out each one. MailChimp looks the best. I picked MailChimp and I signed up. It took me 30 minutes. Wonderful. 2 days in a row, we're getting some momentum. Third day, like set up your booking calendar or whatever that is. I did these in reverse order. But by giving people these like bite-sized chunks, they actually get a lot more done. If all you did was say to the client, like, you need to start email marketing by Friday, I guarantee you they will not have started email marketing by Friday. By giving them these tiny little steps, by Friday, they've got an email out, they've got their calendar link set up, they're ready to do another email on Monday if they want to, and they've probably got people booking. Look, it's easy for mentors and coaches who have a lot of experience and an objective viewpoint to see the whole big picture and all the steps that have to happen. We've been through this, right? We've probably got experience setting up emails, sending emails. It's not hard for us, but most clients don't understand the tiny little steps from 1 to 10 that's going to get the job done. And that's what stops them. It's an obstacle that's too big to contemplate. It's just like, it's too easy to procrastinate. They lose speed. They lose momentum. They feel like they're losing in your program and they give up way too soon. Hopefully this exercise helps you. Luckily, I learned it 20 years ago as a personal trainer that you got to give people these little bright spots along the path. This is the Business is Good podcast. Before I sign off, I want to show you one more special little trick here. And this is called Lowenstein's gap theory. Okay. This is psychological magic. So there's this researcher named George Lowenstein, and he came up with this concept that he calls gap theory. And this was studied at Stanford, Harvard, a couple of other places. It's been cited in numerous business books, but here's how you use it as a coach. Basically, the closer you are to a goal, the more irresistible that goal becomes. So for example, let's say that you're, at the movies and the movie's not great, but it's a 2-hour movie and there's only 10 minutes left. The chance of you walking out of that movie 10 minutes early are very, very slim. Or another example, you're reading a book, okay? It's kind of a long book. It's not your favorite book, but there are 12 chapters and you just finished chapter 11. You're coming to the end. Are you going to put that book away and not finish? No. The closer you get to that goal, the more irresistible the goal becomes. And so the argument for making smaller, achievable goals also creates this magnetic force in the brain of the client, okay? So for example, if we made a goal in like a weight loss client to lose 10 pounds, and we break it down 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pounds. If they've lost 1 pound and they're 2 or 3 weeks in, they're very likely to give up. If they've lost 5 pounds 2 or 3 weeks in, half will give up, half will stick with it. But if they've lost 9 pounds, they are in because they're going to do whatever it takes to get over the hump. And you actually see this quite a bit. If you look at like TV game shows like The Biggest Loser, the reason that people are pushing themselves so hard in the hour before the weigh-in is because they're so close to their goal. Not because they think they're going to lose all the weight in the last hour. They've had a whole week to do it. But because they know, like, I am so close, I will now do anything. It removes barriers of overwhelm. It removes barriers of procrastination. It gets people moving and improves speed to outcome. So use Lowenstein's gap theory. That's your bonus little lesson. This is Business is Good. I'm Chris Cooper. If you want to chat more about this stuff or learn about how to become a business coach or mentor, go to businessisgood.com, and you can even click join the community, which will take you to our free Facebook group of business coaches and mentors to chat with us, ask questions, and improve your practice.